Just a few decades ago, this place was inhabited by fishermen and pearl collectors. But it all changed in the 1960s when they discovered large deposits of oil. And what you see today is the luxurious Abu Dhabi that wants to be one of the best capitals in the world. So let's take a look at this wonderful city. Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about Abu Dhabi. The United Arab Emirates consists of 7 separate emirates, the largest of them being Abu Dhabi, which occupies 87% of the entire territory. It owns 95% of the country's oil production and accounts for about 2/3 of the roughly $400 billion UAE economy. Abu Dhabi is the capital of the UAE. The core of the city is a wedge-shaped island connected to the mainland by the bridges. The wide end of the wedge forms the city center, with the Corniche promenade running along the coast. The city features modern skyscrapers and opulent shopping malls, large gardens, parks, and green boulevards, all lining the city streets. How is it possible to keep the city so green, especially in the desert? Right, you need a lot of water. There are 2 sources of water available here: desalinated seawater and groundwater. Unfortunately, 90% of groundwater in Abu Dhabi is saline, in some cases many times more than the actual seawater, so the only option they have is to have a lot of desalination plants. Well before the money from the oil boom, Abu Dhabi was just a coastal town thriving off the money made from the pearls. The shallow Arabian Gulf waters provided an ideal environment for pearling because oyster beds were shallow enough for divers to reach without modern scuba equipment. More than 1,000 boats would go out to sea for pearls for 120 days at the beginning of the summer to return only in September. Eventually, the pearl industry came to an end because Japan learned to cultivate artificial pearls. Luckily, everything changed in 1958 when oil was discovered, and it is from this period that the development of modern Abu Dhabi begins. In 1971, 7 kingdoms united into one state of the UAE. Abu Dhabi became the capital, and Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan became the first president. Today, Abu Dhabi holds 9% of the world's proven oil reserves and 5% of the world's natural gas. You'll see headquarters of numerous oil companies in the city, like ADNOC, which stands for Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. It's one of the world's largest energy companies. But it's not just oil. They have a full-scale industrial complex, cement plants, pipe rolling plants, and building materials factories, and much more. Population is growing fast. In 2013, it was 921,000. In 2018, it was already 1,450,000. Locals make up just about 20% of the population. The rest are foreigners. While highly skilled professionals that mostly come from Europe and the US get high salaries, regular jobs don't really pay that much. Say a taxi driver makes about $600 or $800 a month, but it's still a lot of money for people coming from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nigeria, and Uganda.
Driver? Gerald?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Where you come from?
I come from Uganda.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you like living in Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I like it here. This is very safe. Yeah.
Is it difficult to drive in Abu Dhabi?
It's difficult for new drivers, but once you get used, it's very easy.
Okay.
You know, Abu Dhabi is not so much complicated. The roads are straight.
What about the fines? What if you're caught speeding? Like, how much is the fine?
Of course, you have to take the fines. The fines are so huge here.
Can you give me an example?
Like now, if you overspeed, if you go above the speed limits, the fine starts from 300 dirham.
Okay.
And it goes up to 1,000 plus, depending on
how fast.
Yeah,
right.
how fast you're going.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
UAE nationals receive a lot of perks from the government. For example, the newlyweds will normally receive a land lot for building a house and at least $20,000 as a gift. For outstanding students, the state will cover the tuition at any university in the world. It is also not unusual for the government to be so generous as to settle the debt owned by the nationals.
Hello.
The country is now implementing the Abu Dhabi 2030 Economic Vision Plan. Part of that plan is to grow local professionals that would be able to compete with the expats for high-ranking positions. The goal is to replace 75% of managers and engineers with UAE nationals by 2030, so they know that education is paramount. There's a number of international schools, including government-sponsored, New York University, Masdar Institute of Science and Technology, and others. Abu Dhabi has a hot desert climate and it never rains, well, almost. In the summer, between May and September, it's hot and humid and feels like a sauna, with temperatures on many days over 40 degrees Celsius, that is 104 Fahrenheit.
Now, it doesn't come as a surprise that it gets really hot during the summer in this country. So how can you get away from the heat? Well, you can use a bus stop which is air conditioned. How convenient. I feel so much better now.
The best time to visit the city is in the so-called winter season, from November till March. Now let's take a look at different parts of the city. The best place to start is the Abu Dhabi Corniche, which is a promenade that stretches for 8 kilometers along the waterfront, and it's home to many hotels and malls, making it a desirable place to live. The Corniche beach was accorded the status of a blue flag beach in 2011.
Just a few steps away from the central business district and all the skyscrapers of Abu Dhabi, you can always find a place where you can relax on the beach. Blue waters and white sand. It doesn't get better than this. Let's go swimming.
Walking along the promenade, you'll see the Emirates Palace Hotel, one of the most luxurious hotels in the world. You can go inside, even if you're not a guest, and admire the luxury of the interior. One of the most iconic features of the hotel is the dome in its atrium, the most impressive part of which is the 22-karat gold leaf that covers the inside of it. Known as the third most expensive hotel in the world to build, the Emirates Palace cost $3 billion to construct. That's almost twice as expensive as Burj Khalifa in Dubai. It will cost you around $400 a night if you want to stay at this luxurious, record-breaking hotel. Opposite the hotel, you'll see Etihad Towers, which is a graceful complex of 5 skyscrapers with residential apartments, offices, and hotels. Did you know that the Etihad Towers and the Emirates Palace Hotel were used as filming locations for the movie Furious 7, in which cars rushed through the building and smashed through the windows of the towers? At the end of the Corniche Road, you'll see the Presidential Palace. It's set on 150 hectares, and it includes a palace and many gardens. It probably doesn't come as a surprise that you're going to see a lot of nice cars in the city streets. Now let's take a look at some other parts of the city. The city is very much spread out, with most sites concentrated on the central part, Yas Island, and Saadiyat Island. Let's take a look at different parts of the city. For an action-packed day, you'll want to head to Yas Island, which was created in 2006 with one thing in mind: entertainment. It is located 40 kilometers away from the city center. Here you will find Ferrari World. It's an amusement park that includes the Guinness Book of World Records fastest roller coaster in the world, Formula Rossa, that will take you from 0 to 240 kilometers an hour in just 5 seconds. There's also Yas Marina Circuit, which is a Formula 1 racetrack, Yas Waterworld Water Park, Warner Brothers World Theme Park, SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, which is due to open in 2022, and it will be the first SeaWorld outside of the United States. UAE roads are some of the best in the world. No wonder. UAE had been #1 when it came to quality of roads in the world for a number of years. The speed limit on freeways is 140 kilometers an hour, but honestly, it doesn't really feel that fast because the road surface is great. Although Abu Dhabi's in the desert, the city is making great efforts to preserve its natural resources, such as mangroves and turtle nesting spots. Let's take a look at yet another island, Saadiyat Island, which is less than a kilometer off the shore of Abu Dhabi city center. I know you've heard of Louvre in Paris, but here you'll find the Louvre Abu Dhabi, which is an art and civilization museum.
I'm standing next to Louvre, but I'm not in Paris, France. I'm in Abu Dhabi. Look at the dome. It's made in the form of an artificial web so that the sunlight can get in. Now, works of art have been collected from all over the world to bring East and West together. Let's go inside, take a look.
It wasn't cheap. The cost of the construction was about 600 million euros. On top of that, 525 million was paid to be associated with the Louvre name. Artworks from around the world are showcased at this museum, with particular focus placed on bridging the gap between Eastern and Western art. Soon, the Louvre Abu Dhabi will have the most expensive painting in auction history, Leonardo da Vinci's painting, Salvatore Mundi. It was auctioned for 450 million by Charlie's in November 2017. The mystery buyer turned out to be a Saudi prince who had no history as a major arts collector. He later presented it to the Department of Culture and Tourism of Abu Dhabi. The museum did not disclose whether it expected to receive the painting as a gift, a loan, or a rental. Altogether, they're planning to invest $27 billion into Saadiyat Island. Some highly anticipated museums are on the way: Guggenheim Museum and Zayed National Museum. Besides the cultural district, this island will have villas and high-end apartment blocks, and it will be home to about 160,000 residents. This has to be one of the most beautiful mosques in the world, Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. This place is large enough to accommodate over 40,000 people. It is surrounded by pools that emphasize its beauty. There are 4 minarets on the 4 corners of the courtyard, which rise about 107 meters in height. The courtyard is 17,000 square meters and is considered to be the largest example of marble mosaic in the world. The carpet in the main prayer hall is the largest in the world. It measures 5,600 square meters, and its weight is 35 tons.
It's handmade by 1,200 women. It looks like a 2 years. Everything is handmade, not with hand machine, not have everything. And we have the biggest chandelier in the world.
Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque has 7 chandeliers imported from Munich, Germany that incorporate millions of Swarovski crystals. Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan was the first president of the United Arab Emirates, and his contribution to the development of the country cannot be overestimated. And there is a memorial to him on Corniche Road called the Founders Memorial. One of the busiest and the most crowded places in the city is the Al Mina Fish Market, which is located in Mina Zayed Port, and that's one of the largest ports in the Arabian Gulf that can accept up to 5 cruise ships at a time. Here you can choose some of the freshest fish and then have it cooked for you at the nearest restaurant.
Hello, hello. A lot of fish.
Yes, fish. This one, this parrot fish, parrot.
What's the name of this fish?
Parrot fish, parrot.
Parrot fish?
Yeah.
Is it a lobster? Oh, lobster. Okay.
Shrimp.
A shrimp. Wow. How you doing?
Taza.
Very good. Wow, scary.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Maybe like.
Looking.
Thanks, sir. How's the food? It's good?
Yeah, it's very good.
Across the bridge you'll find Marina City District, with Marina Mall, one of the largest malls in the city, Marina Eye, which is a waterfront Ferris wheel, an iconic hotel which resembles Atlantis Hotel in Dubai called Fairmont Marina Abu Dhabi. It was due to open in 2016. 4 years later, it's still not open. You can also visit Abu Dhabi International Marine Sports Club that hosts local and international sports events. If you want to see a typical Arabian village, then you should visit Heritage Village. This is a fascinating reconstruction of a desert oasis town. It's located in Marina City District.
Okay.
Many people wonder, what's going to happen to Abu Dhabi when the oil deposits run out? Here's what Khaldoon Al Mubarak, one of the major developers of Abu Dhabi, has to say about this. Quote, you look at Dubai as an example. Dubai has done a phenomenal job of transforming itself from 40 years ago, highly dependent on oil, to today, pretty much a negligible, I would say, dependence on oil. So that worked. In Abu Dhabi, we've gone from 90% maybe dependence on oil to our GDP to now less than 35%. So it's been a successful strategy, and I think we should continue going down that route. End quote. In a bid to attract tourism and foreign investment, land sales to foreigners were allowed and restrictions on alcohol were loosened. This advertisement says people of all nationalities can buy real estate from us. Which makes you wonder, has it not always been this way? Well, apparently not. The idea of diversifying the economy is also seen in Abu Dhabi Economic Vision 2030. According to this plan, the economy should be sustainable and not dependent on any single source of revenue. In September 2019, the construction of UAE's first official synagogue was announced to begin in 2020 as a part of the multi-faith Abrahamic Family House complex in Abu Dhabi. They also held a ceremony to grant licenses to 17 Christian churches and the first ever traditional Hindu temple. They're planning a metro line which will be 130 kilometers long, and it should be opened by the end of 2020. What are some cool things to do in the city? Well, you can do some shopping for perfumes. The UAE is famous for its perfumes.
This is natural Arabic. It's not like you guys married.
Not yet, almost.
She said yes and yes.
Hello, hi, welcome to our shop. You can have a look, take a walk.
Or you can shop for some carpets. They love the carpets. There's even a carpet market. Some of them can be very pricey and cost several $1,000s.
50% wool and 50% silk. Made of Iran. Nice.
Silk.
Silk.
Wow.
This is piece of art. So this is something that can last for more than 100 years. It does not really have age at all. And in each carpet we could use more than 12 to 13 colors.
Where do the locals hang out? Because drinking is not part of the culture, instead of hidden bars and pubs, they come to fancy coffee shops and nice locations by the water, like this one, away from the tourists. What is it like living here for foreigners? Well, first of all, salaries are tax-free. That's great, but you'll be renting while you're staying here, and it's not cheap. A 2-bedroom apartment in a high-end building on the Corniche, for example, will be around $30,000 to $50,000 a year. Another disadvantage is that for some rentals, you will have to sign a yearly lease and even pay the rent up front. Alcohol is restricted and is only available at licensed restaurants and bars, and at some hotels. Foreigners will have to get used to the sound of the call to prayer 5 times a day and dress more conservatively. When it comes to nightlife, Abu Dhabi cannot compete with Dubai, but that's not a problem. In fact, Dubai is just 130 kilometers away, and that's about a 90-minute drive, so people go back and forth frequently. I really enjoyed my stay in Abu Dhabi, a modern-day Arabian miracle. Thanks for watching, guys, and let me know what you think in the comments.